Knowledge of the little known. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Apex Scientifica, a programme that investigates the little known. And today we have with us the most eminent Dr. Emile Sauders. Dr. Sauders is an expert on spatial awareness, something that we do not yet know much about. I will be quizzing Dr. Sauders about his knowledge. Welcome, Dr. Sauders.
Hello, it's lovely to be here. My name is Dr. Emile Sauders.
I know, I just told you about it. Anyway, spatial awareness.
Yes.
Peculiar subject, really. I mean, how do you know how do you know you have it?
Well, now it all comes down to the knowledge of the space. Spatial awareness. Knowing what's there.
But how do you know what's there? I mean, where do you get this knowledge from?
Well, I'm afraid it goes back a long way, and I'd rather not say now.
Oh, Dr. Sauders, I mean, you're here now, and this wonderful audience would really like to push you a little bit on what you know, and obviously, spatial awareness is not something that comes to every human being. Where did you start with this? Where did you get the inference for the knowledge?
Well, it goes back a very long way, I must say. It does go back quite a long way indeed, quite a long way. And it all started when I was very young. I was very young when I was young. And I was taken by the Mondalongs. The Mondalongs of the Afro cluster of Cygnus Major. And there, I just picked it up. I learned from their practice.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we knew this was going to be an exciting programme, and we knew that we were going to be amazed by Dr. Sauders' expertise, but I had no idea that this was going to happen. You say you were taken by the Mondalong?
That's right. That is the case. You are right.
Can you tell us anything about the Mondalong? I mean, are they humanoid? Are they similar to us?
Well, unfortunately, I was very young, and being young, I was smaller, and it's such a shock to the brain, to the mind, to the thoughts, that my memory is not what it used to be. As far as I can recall, as I'm sure you'd like to know.
Please, yes. Go on.
From my perspective, from down at their thighs, they were indeed...
Did you say their thighs?
Their thighs, their thunderous thighs.
My God.
Yes, they did have thighs. That is where I say they were in fact slightly humanoid. But the thighs down. The thighs down they were. The hips upwards were something else.
Recognisable to us, would you say? I mean, were they...
Well, it's hard to say. I remember they were clad in the most obscure textile. I doubt it was of this earth. It was rough and soft and smooth at the same time. It was dirty and clean. It was bright and dark. And that is all I remember.
Were they of mixed race then? A race of opposites?
I remember very little. And that, I'm afraid, I cannot answer.
Well, you seem to have this knowledge of spatial awareness. Excuse me. Were the were the Mondalong experts at spatial awareness, especially due to their mixed selves, I would say, light but dark, dirty but clean. They sounded very contrary people.
We can say they were people of poles. They were people of the north and the south, the east and the west. They were people and not people. But yes, I can recall definitely that they had such a vast knowledge, such a bank, such an extreme, colossal sort of library. I cannot doubt there was undoubtedly superior knowledge about spatial awareness. And I remember being read to when I went to sleep. Before, of course, I came back. I was read to by a kind, elderly Mondalong about this. Now, I can remember what she said. She spoke English.
Spoke English, you say? Was she a contraire woman? I mean, did she read you but not read to you? Was her story a story but not a story? Was it indeed a story without spatial awareness or with spatial awareness? Was she aware that she was in a void?
Now that makes everything seem confusing, but it's not, because what I learned from my experience was how to understand this concept of the opposites. And yes, she was reading but not reading. She was telling but not telling. She was there but she was not there. But it made...
Well, this has been illuminating, Dr. Saunders. Our government, has our government shown any interest in your thoughts, your works, your relationships with the Mondalong?
I haven't really had a contact, I'm afraid. I was certain that someone would show interest, and indeed I have had a few private emails from private groups, but sadly I have still yet to receive any government support and government interest in my experience.
I believe that the only lead we've had are tweets by the American president, Mr. Donald Trump, who has tweeted that he himself is and isn't, and maybe not. Have you anything to say about this? Do you know him to have been taken or being a Mondalong?
I have no knowledge of this whatsoever. Now, I see that this might be a link. I hope I can meet him and share my experience. Maybe he has indeed had a contact, or maybe he is Mondalong. This has been enlightening. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Saunders, thank you so much for the amazing gifts that you have bestowed us with tonight. Thank you so much for appearing on our programme. Ladies and gentlemen, another programme of Apex Scientifica has reached an end. Thank you so much, Dr. Emile Saunders.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night, audience.
Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.